So, I don't know why I thought this, but for some odd reason, like, I don't know. I guess I just don't count them as fucking mattering. But I made that video about flat earth. It wasn't really about flat earth. Yeah, it's kind of about flat earth, but not really about flat earth. But I did talk about a lot of flat earth. And I titled it with flat earth. There's flat earth in it. So, I didn't think that I was going to wind up with a bona fide flat earther watching the video. And I did. Now, it's actually a beautiful thing that happened. If you actually watch the video and are capable of reading between the lines about what I'm talking about, or you just watch it long enough to get to the part where I talk about leftists, and then you go into the comments and you fucking read this dude's messages, he has provided a beautiful example of exactly what I'm talking about. He doesn't talk about even one fucking point I make. He doesn't refute any. He just says some really stupid catchline, which has mic drop and then it's like a question mark. It is the dumbest fucking thing. It makes no goddamn sense to me. I don't know what language he's speaking when he says random ass fucking words that are strung together and I guess what's supposed to make sense to him. Doesn't make any sense to me. His one comment to me was nothing but just gibberish. I'm like, what am I fucking reading here? He didn't bring up a counterpoint. He didn't make an argument. He had fuck all to say. Right? Now, that is a sign of the left. That's the whole shit. It's just the whatever brain shit, whatever it is. The inability to fucking pay attention to shit that's actually happening because you got too many fucking meaningless questions. Like that kind of shit. But I think my questions are really good. No, they're not, because they've been proven for thousands of years to be wrong. Just because you think it now doesn't mean all of a sudden it's smart. It was dumb when people thought it thousands of years ago. It's why we've learned better since then. You're dredging up old stupidity. Why would you do that? We already have enough new stupidity running around. We don't need old stupidity too. Whatever. They don't understand astrophysics. And I'm not even saying that as if to shit on them. There's a whole lot of astrophysics I don't understand. Like, I can get a Kerbal up into space. I can even set... Well, I couldn't do it now. I'd have to find all my notes again. But there was a time that I could actually set an orbit and get a Kerbal into orbit. Now, unfortunately, I didn't have enough fuel to get them down ever. So I had just shit tons of satellites with little Kerbals, and I just hire a new Kerbal and fucking throw them up there and be like, maybe you'll get lucky. And you'll be able to come out of that orbit, but they never do. So I've got like 20 Kerbals just floating around Kerbin in one of my save games because I still can't figure out how to get them down. So, you know, like, this shit's tough. Like, it's difficult to figure out. And then I watch a video of Scott Manley doing the same fucking thing I'm doing, and I'm like, how he does it and I can't, I don't fucking know. I'm doing almost the same fucking things as him. Like, I watch what he does, I build the same fucking ships he do, I do kind of the same things he do, but for some odd reason, he understands the rotation of the earth and shit like that better than I do. Right? And I understand it comparatively better than you do. Right? Like, this is where we're at. He can get into really deep shit that I just can't understand, and I understand common knowledge stuff that you just can't fucking get. Right? Like, that's where we're at here. So, he did, however, have one point. I'm not going to qualify it. You can judge on your own. His point is that science is a mutable thing. It changes constantly. We're always coming up with new things that we find, right? New inventions that are able to do things better and this, that, and the other thing. We're always gaining new knowledge, and we always have to fold that into our current knowledge of science, right? So science changes a lot. From time to time, it just changes. You'll find out, oh shit, I guess that's just not the way that is anymore. Okay. But like, the fundamentals of science don't change. If you hold something up in the air and let go of it, it will fall. This is never going to change. There isn't going to be any new thought process we come of, no new way of testing, no technology, no nothing. There is no new realization we can come to make gravity stop working just because, oh, we found out gravity's not actually a thing. That doesn't make shit cease to react to gravity. You know what I mean? Like, there is never, ever, ever, I feel total confidence saying this too, from fucking God's mouth to my ears to you, right? There will never, ever be a new technology, a new process of examination. There will never be a better scientific method. There will never be anything ever that is going to, with its realization, turn the very fucking planet that we are on from a sphere into a plane. It's never going to happen. And his biggest point, really, which I think is the total mic drop, you drop that shit right on your fucking head, right? That's the total best mic drop you had, was when you said, well, we'll see. No, we won't see. There will never be a time where we will discover a new science that changes the fundamental nature of reality. This is always going to be round. See that? Round. It's always going to be round. It's also always going to be flat. Alright? There's nothing I'm ever going to discover in science that'll be brand new that's going to turn this flat plane into a round hump. It ain't going to fucking happen. That was the one where I'm like, not only is that brand new, but I think it's brand new because the old people understood that even going there was fucking just asking to be made fun of. What possible... This is a Pokeball. It's round. It isn't science that makes it round. It's the fact of reality that makes it round. Nobody researched this into being round. Nobody mathed this shit round. It was poured into a mold that was round, and it came out of that mold still fucking round. Alright? And there's not going to be... I mean, you could take a micrometer on this thing, right? And you can find out angles and shit like that, and thicknesses, and... Right? Like, there's all sorts of things you can do to test the very roundness of this ball. But there is no test you'll ever be able to perform on this ball that is going to somehow flatten it out into not a ball anymore. How do you math this flat? What will you ever discover that is going to make this fucking flat? Like, that is probably the single stupidest argument in favor of flat Earth I've ever heard. That science is changing, and someday we'll find out that that ball is actually flat. So, like, you're never going to science this flat. It's always going to stay round. And just because you think the science on the roundness of the Earth is incorrect, that doesn't mean that you're ever going to find a more correct version of the science that already exists, that has for thousands of years and been proven by billions of children in 4th grade class. We teach our kids too much about their feelings and about how if you're white you're racist and if you're black, you're never gonna amount to anything because you just can't, because systemic racism is gonna always hold you back. So just why bother trying, man? Just keep being a criminal. Like, we teach children the wrong things. We need to start teaching children how to do the math problem of, is the earth round? Because, like, in our desire to be more progressive, we have not only regressed, but regressed thousands of years into the past. Like, people always go, what do you want to do? Socially go back to the Stone Age? Well, I certainly don't want to fucking scientifically go back there. What is going on?